It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it. Why would the Supreme Arbiter have met with the Consul? No use speculating. We'll know soon enough.
Malefactor ahead. ready, Commander. Trouble about.
Disruptive influence! Replenishing my fire! Restrain to cover!
Stand ready.
Magazine!
Our foes are close.
Replenishing my firearm! Sustain the system! Ostensibly, I must reload! Hastening to cover!
I shall not stay your execution. Prepare for absolution!
Someone call for him. Let's get you healed. Out of sight on the way.
You have my thanks and my Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to do this more than a few times. That was an impressive performance of yours during your strength training this morning. Your physical prowess mirrors my own, though it does not eclipse it.
Oh, that's the end of your comment? Then thanks. I thought the flattery was gonna lead into an insult of my training techniques, or my proclivity for vanity.
Of course not. I simply was surprised that a non-protectorate individual could perform satisfactorily.
Well, for my part, I didn't expect much from you neither. But you've got great form, strong quadriceps. Not that I'm looking that closely. Anyway.
Central Control is open to no visitors. Turn around. Best turn around. Central Control isn't... Wait. Orbit around? What are you doing here? I've heard a great deal regarding your exploits within the Protectorate. And it is all that prevents me from summoning the Guard. I have strict orders to arrest you on sight.
I've no desire to slay you, but if you seek to prevent me from pursuing my duties, I will have no other choice.
Arbiter Rao did not report to the Consul's summons. Consequently, he is wanted for questioning. It is only our difference in rank that stays my hand from attempting arrest. Very well. I shall not sound the alarm. But you are still not permitted to enter this facility either through this entry or any side route. I shall be watching.
Commander, let us speak privately on our next course of action. I did not care for that exchange at all. The idea that the Consul would stymie me individually is rather disturbing. Regardless, we do have alternate means of ingress. I seem to recall a number of creatures bypassing the left fence through some upper path we were never able to find. There's also the prisoner entrance on the right. If you're sufficiently dexterous, you may be able to bypass the safeguards to get us in. Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.
I've eyes on a miscreant.
What in the void? Some phantom of the mind. Deserves a look. Silver. There. on its own.
That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office.
Arcadia,
Hope the technicians
never to
have
be
kept it in working
outshone.
order.
Our colony, Arcadia, our home.
I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. You must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below. Someone's coming up!
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold. What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. My mentor isn't a turncoat. She must have intended something else. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Rao, you really ought to have a sit-down. Were this anyone except your mentor, you'd see this for what it is.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
This is not the time for your deranged jests.
Well, that's ridiculous. My interest in Arbiter Rao is purely professional.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. There has been very little humor to much of anything since we entered this office.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
The ex-Protectorate subject there had been mentally refreshed. Killing him would have accomplished nothing, despite his crimes, as he was merely a pawn to someone else.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
But that's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught. There's no protocol for following one's heart in the Protectorate. I still do not know what to do, but perhaps that is the point. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Yeah, I bet he is. Just remind him that abstaining from violence ain't the same as chocolates and flowers.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Huh. You beginning to wean yourself off of eating the shoe polish? This is a good turn, Rao.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. I assure you, I was once there. Any arbiter of note must build their character on a foundation of enthusiasm. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly. Once we find Virgil, he and I shall unravel what occurred with the Supreme Arbiter. Together, we shall have no trouble, I'm sure.
Better go see. Out of a preponderance of caution, it is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. Trifling nuisance.
Let's see how well you Arbiters know basic history. Who constructed the archive?
The matriarch did, of course. Who else could oversee the creation of such an immense, complex piece of machinery?
Inaccurate. It was Presiding Bishop Audley, the first presiding bishop. The matriarch gave permission, but he's the one who oversaw its actual construction.
I knew that. This is the problem with you mathematical sycophants. There's always some technicality that conveniently proves you right.
Oh, thank you for agreeing I was proven right, Rao. How magnanimous of you.
Blast! I was halfway through my backwards recitation of each protectorate law. Good that repetition strengthens the mind. Speak freely.
Oh, how we prevail, us above all else who fail.
Got my lamps on a hospital.
Let the paradigm worry about tomorrow.
Hostile not.
The old quarters are... they have all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Hey, you all right?
I'm fine. Some arid dust nearly found its way into my eye.
Villains abound. Be on guard.
Sovereign provides...
Aggressors in range.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. Appreciate you. Breaking for cover.
presence on Praetor. Certainly no threat to us.
Might have a problem.
What? Never more content. Some perlustration is in order. There! Found you! Who would willingly design such an irksome thing? Now this off in a minute. Ugh. Found that din deleterious in the extreme.
I sense scum and close.
All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
keep from arresting attention for your sake. What? Huh. Guess not.
What the... I am obliged to check it out. A boarding search.
Move your heels! Faster! The enemies of the Protectorate won't stand around waiting for you to kill them.
Trouble about. My hammerhand itches.
The sovereign provides, the system abides.
You're hurt, Commander! Steel yourself! Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned camp.
Silent as a tomb. I hope we aren't too late. If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Arbiter Nebs, the words are a song to my ears. This, no doubt, is the opportunity I have long awaited. These hapless recruits arrived just before the invasion. No sooner had they set down their bags than their instructors were called to the war front. I read the fear, the uncertainty in their faces. And I knew, as this outpost's primary practice target replacement technician, I alone could teach them. They see me as their leader, their arbiter. I will not fail. Should the invasion breach our defenses, I will stand proudly at the vanguard, shoot to kill, and lead them to victory.
Kristen, it's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
With weapon prime!
System of Five!
Swear my life or avenge my death!
Unleash my might upon them!
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Council must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Council. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? Had I not been so overcome with emotion, I would have been thorough enough to delete that. It matters no longer.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I'd not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic. But this is not the matter we're here to discuss.
How dare you! I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was out of my loyalty. The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There was not a step we took that she did not watch, a fact we know that she did not teach. And I killed her. As a traitor. Damn you. Damn you 1,000 times. How can I not bear remorse for the slaying of one I considered my own kin? No matter what I do, I find myself reliving that moment whenever I close my eyes. Her sin was unforgivable to the Protectorate, but No. The situation was a nightmare. Any action would have been the wrong one. I only wonder if the path I took was worth it.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. You know that I have to judge you. There's no other choice available to me. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I? You mistake my aim for one of vengeance. I still care deeply for Virgil. I do not blame him. But I must do what is just. Each encounter we have experienced together has left me torn. And this circumstance is more extreme than all others combined. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. I fear it may be too late for that. I have made my decision, and I shall stand by it, no matter how torn I may be. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Oh, joy. They talked it out. And here I was all ready to watch two arbiters violently dismember each other.
Would that I could forgive myself. I shall have to live with what I have done in the name of the Protectorate. Defection is madness. But perhaps I'll have no choice with the Consul after me. I must make myself scarce while I decide what to do next.
Virgil, you should take comfort in doing what was right. The Supreme Arbiter was a traitor. I believe her execution was just. And you should as well.
Just in the eyes of the Protectorate. But we've forever lost our mentor, our friend. And, I might add, if the Protectorate had its way, you or I would presently lie dead as well. How can I see the morality in a system that demands brothers, guardians, friends kill one another in its name?
Brutality is one thing, but justice should not be brutal. It should be righteous. The way Virgil put it... I don't know. I need to think.
1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. Commander. I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? No. That is a step too far. Despite its flaws, I still believe in the Protectorate, if only the central idea behind its founding. On any other day, your assertion would be an offense meriting extreme recompense. But for now, I will refuse to entertain it. Once Arcadia is no longer bathed in fire and blood, I will look upon this path again to see if it is tenable, which I have no doubt it shall be. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Despite your glib tone, I understand what you touch upon. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.
What I wouldn't give for a big boy. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Multi-spectrum antibiotic and convenient injection packaging.